Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be watching a video called The Hague, Netherlands, Best Things to Do and See. So obviously I know The Hague, it's a city in the Netherlands. I don't know if at some point maybe it was the capital, I think. Maybe if I'm remembering correctly, I think the Netherlands had like two capitals, Amsterdam and The Hague. Or maybe I'm totally misremembering, but I think they had two capitals or have still. I don't know, but I think Amsterdam is probably like the most famous town in the Netherlands, the most famous city. Because I think usually that's where tourists tend to go. But obviously I know The Hague is famous because of other things. Like I know the ICJ, the International Court of Justice, is there. So, you know, it's got to be like a very political maybe town. I don't know, again, because the ICJ is there. So I don't know, I would think like there's a lot of like government things there and probably I get a lot of lawyers and stuff like that. But I'm guessing there's also like a lot of things to do as a tourist, and it's going to be like a very interesting town to actually like check out. You know, if you're not a lawyer, you're just a tourist, you know, it's going to be like a good city to visit. I don't know, but I'm hopefully it's going to be like that, and probably this video is going to show us like a lot of cool things to do there. So I can't wait. Let's check it out and comment, like, subscribe, and start.
If planning a jaunt to the Netherlands, consider beginning your tour at The Hague, the Netherlands' third largest city after Amsterdam and Rotterdam. It's a fascinating city, located on the North Sea coast, and is home to many of the Netherlands' hidden jewels. Curiously, The Hague is not the country's capital, but it is the city in which the government of the Netherlands is headquartered, and the home city of the Dutch monarchy. It's also famously home to the United Nations International Court of Justice and International Criminal Court, making it a hotspot destination for global political types.
That's what I was thinking.
The Hague has tons for first-time and frequent visitors to enjoy, providing you with the opportunity to immerse yourself in this historic city. Visits to the Mauritshuis and the Peace Palace, as well as the park at Landhuut Klingendal, are among the best things to do in the city.
It's at a park.
To make the most of your trip to the Netherlands, make sure to check out this vid and enjoy the best things to do in The Hague. A visit to the outstanding Mauritshuis Museum is one of the best ways to kick off your vacation. It is a must-see for anyone who enjoys art history, particularly the classics. If you're a fan of art and history, visiting Mauritshuis will provide you with hours of enjoyment. As you wander through the exhibits, you'll find paintings from the golden ages of the Netherlands. This museum is housed in a magnificent palace built in the classical style in 1641. Its collections notably include artwork by legendary artists such as Rembrandt and Vermeer. Among these treasures, you can admire Rembrandt's Anatomy Lesson and Rogier van der Weden's Lamentation. During your trip to the museum, you can also participate in lectures, seminars, and activities related to the arts that are displayed. The Hague's roots in law and peace run deep, and no better place illustrates that than the world-famous Vredespaleis, or Peace Palace. The Peace Palace is a massive brick structure that was constructed between 1907 and 1913. The building is a blend of Gothic and neoclassical styles, and is flanked on either side of its long arcaded facade by a steeply pitched roof and a tower 80 meters in height.
That tower is very interesting.
On its gorgeous grounds, the palace is home to several renowned institutions and courts of law. The International Court of Justice, the Permanent Court of Arbitration,
that's where it is.
the Academy of International Law, and a substantial international law library are located within the palace. The interior of the palace is lavishly decorated with marble from Italy and Brazil, exquisite wood paneling, and beautiful iron railings. The palace's grounds are also home to some lovely gardens, where you can take photos or relax. If you're looking to witness more of The Hague's indoor wonders, the Mathematical Museum of Escher in het Paleis, or Escher in the Palace, can't be overlooked.
I'd love to go there.
Don't worry, it's really not a ruse to get you to do that math homework you skipped yesterday.
No, it's very interesting.
The Winter Palace of the Queen Mother Emma, originally a royal palace, has been transformed into a fascinating museum dedicated to the work and masterpieces of lauded Dutch artist M.C. Escher, famous for his use of mathematics and geometry in his incredible graphic arts. The museum has beautiful permanent collections of geometric, symmetrical arts on display. Escher in its Palais is home to about 150 of MC Escher's most famous prints, mosaics, and other creations.
Oh my god, that's
The
incredible.
museum encourages both interaction and participation, making
I didn't know it was
great
so
day out for
interactive.
both children and adults. Activities include a scavenger hunt for children, the opportunity to participate in arty experiments, and mind-bending interactive optical
That looks so
illusions.
awesome.
If you need a break from this brilliant, brain-boggling museum, grab a coffee and a waffle from the cafe, or visit the gift shop
waffle.
where you can purchase some arty souvenirs. A visit to the Grotte of St. Jakobskerk, that's the Great or St.
Okay.
James's Church,
Okay.
and admiring its
Wow.
architectural grandeur is another of the most enjoyable things to do in The Hague.
Whoa.
At over
Are those
300
wooden
feet,
ceilings?
it is one of the city's tallest buildings and was constructed during the 15th and 16th centuries in a classic Gothic style. This Protestant church is not only beautiful because of its
It is.
stunning exterior, but it is also beautiful because of its opulent interior decorations and ornamentation, relatively uncommon of many Protestant churches in Europe.
Oh, because
the
they're more
stunning vaulted
they're
ceiling
simpler.
alone is well worth the visit.
Yeah.
Numerous memorials and mausoleums, including those of Constantine and Christian Huygens, are among the highlights
It
to
looks
see
like
on
a
your visit.
Catholic church.
There's also the huge 19th century pipe organ, known as the Knights of the Golden Fleece, which contributes to the church's
Okay.
interior beauty. Regular services are held at the church, and it is frequently used as a venue for weddings, concerts, and banquets, as it has done for centuries.
I can see why, it's very pretty.
While touring The Hague, enjoy a day basking in the beautiful ambience of the old city as you stroll back in time to the historic Binnenhof,
Is that the
or
downtown?
inner court. The Binnenhof is a complex of buildings in the heart of the city dating back to 1250. Once a dwelling for the Hague's ruling
That's so
aristocrats, today it houses both chambers of the Parliament of Netherlands. The Prime Minister's office houses the country's Ministry of General Affairs, the States General of the Netherlands, and is located on the north wing of the complex. Admire the exquisite Ridderzaal, also known
What
as
is
the
that?
Knights Hall, a magnificent space that is used for state functions and receptions. Aside from the hall's
Can you
intricate
actually
beauty,
go there?
there is also an exquisite courtyard outside the Knights Hall, ideal for unwinding and admiring the wonderful neo-Gothic fountain in the center of the courtyard.
That's a fountain? I thought it was a lake.
The Madurodam is a must-see attraction in The Hague and should not be missed. It is a genuinely one-of-a-kind attraction that visitors of all ages will enjoy. The
Yeah.
most well-known feature of the Madurodam is its vast display of
What is-
miniatures,
but what is it?
depicting famous landmarks and everyday life in the Netherlands in minute detail. It also includes some of the country's most popular attractions, allowing you to see all of the Netherlands' major landmarks here in case you don't have time to see them in person.
Oh.
Meticulously recreated sites include the Peace Palace in The Hague, as well as the Anne Frank House and the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam. Participating in interactive displays that focus on wind energy and Holland's ubiquitous windmills are among the other fascinating things to do here.
Yeah, it looks so good.
There's also an interactive play area for kids that's always a big hit. For a truly exceptional travel experience in the Netherlands, you simply must visit the historic city of The Hague. Frequently overlooked as a tourist destination, The
Yeah.
Hague is the perfect Dutch vacation for those looking for something a little different and thoroughly rewarding. Thanks for watching. Be sure to follow us on Instagram via our handle at ViaTravelers or check out our blog at viatravelers.com.
Okay, so it's funny because I was like, yes, I think probably The Hague is less known as a touristy destination. Maybe not for Dutch people in general. Probably they are aware of like the city. Obviously, they're sitting in their own country. But I think for international tourists, I think it's less. Probably no, because you know of The Hague. Obviously, you've heard. Yes, I've heard that the name of that city. I know it's in the Netherlands, but I think it's more renowned and more like I think it's more in the news and in the international collective. I would say more again because it's like a political kind of hotspot because the ICJ is there, the ICC is there. So it's like yes, I would assume it was like that. So it's like tourists probably if they're thinking of like I want to go to the Netherlands. I think most people are like, oh, well, but I'm going to Amsterdam because it's like the most famous, probably the most famous city in the Netherlands, but you know, from a touristy point of view. But I love seeing that it's not really the case. Like, there's a lot of things to do here as a tourist, not as in, you know, oh, I have to like work there or something. It's like, no, there's like genuinely a lot of cool things to do. I think my favorite thing was the Escher Museum. I didn't know that he was Dutch, actually, so it's a nice surprise, and it looks so cool. I think obviously like he was I know he was a mathematic and stuff, but he was an artist, and all his work, it's insanely cool. And this museum is like, you really, from what I could see, like from the clips and stuff, it's really like, it's not just because it's an interactive museum, which I love, because it's not just, you know, checking, not that other museums are nice, because, you know, museums are incredible, but the fact that they're so interactive, I love that. I had no idea it was like that. So I think it's a great way to learn more about the artists and, you know, the work and their, I don't know, like their perspective of what they were trying to show like throughout their work. I think, you know, those interactive like works, I think work better because you're gonna be, you know, you're experiencing and you're sort of learning along the way, and probably you retain more if you're having fun. So I love it. All those incredible things. I love the fact that they have like this giant like crystal ball and you can touch things. Like, it looked incredible. I would love to go to that museum. But besides that, obviously they have the other museum that I can't remember the name, but it was more like classical works and, you know, like Rembrandt and Vermeer, and I can't remember the name of the other painter. But obviously I would love to go there. I don't know what paintings they have, but you know, all those incredible painters like Vermeer and Rembrandt. Of course, like I want to go there. I want to go look at the paintings. I didn't know they were there because I would just assume, oh, they're probably in Amsterdam. But it's like, oh, well, no, they're in The Hague. Love that. I love all the palace. Well, it wasn't a palace. It was like the architecture of the actual. Like, I don't know if you can enter actually, but it's like you can see them, you know, you can see the architecture because again, they are like the seats of like the government and stuff like that. So I don't know if you can actually like go there and be like, oh, I want to check this out because I want to look at the building. It's like, no, you can't obviously enter because again, it's a private owned building, like the government or whatever. But I love the architecture, and it was so old. It was like from the 200s to like, it's like so old. My mind cannot even comprehend like something that it's that old, but I would love it. It's all very gothic, which I love. It's incredible. I think something that really is like, I love the fountain as well. I can't remember where it was, but it was like, it's a fountain in the middle of like a lake. I love that. And I love the fact that The Hague also apparently has canals. I if I'm not mistaken, I saw several canals like in the city. And I don't know why I thought that the Netherlands, like they usually only Amsterdam has the canals. But it's like, no, I think everywhere you go in the Netherlands, you're going to be, like, the canals are there, which I think, I find incredible. I didn't really know that because I thought maybe they were less common in some other places, or maybe you can find them in select cities. But, oh no, The Hague also has them, which is great. But also I love the church. It was very funny because when he was like saying like, yes, it's a Protestant church, and it is uncommon because yes, everything looked very Catholic. It's like, yeah, it looked like a Catholic church. I think they're more opulent maybe, and the church looked beautiful, and I can see like they probably make a lot of events there, and it makes all the sense in the world. But yeah, I loved it. It was funny. Something that it really does. Like, I'm super curious is that, you know, obviously they have, you know, the seat of the government and some other like government offices and stuff, but and obviously the ICC and all of that. But, you know, where's actually like the palaces? Because obviously the Netherlands have, you know, they have their own monarchy. But where's the royal palace? Where does the royal family live? Is it in Amsterdam? Because I would assume maybe like mistakenly I would think, oh, it's probably in Amsterdam. But now that I'm seeing all the things that, you know, they are in The Hague. And The Hague also, it's the place where you have like, again, all those like government buildings. Maybe it's like there in The Hague, but they didn't really mention any palaces. And I want to know where are the palaces, and also the historical palaces, because again, they've been a monarchy for since, you know, I don't even know what year. But it's been several centuries. So I want to know more about like the palaces in the Netherlands, and where are they located? Maybe they are in Amsterdam, maybe, or they are in other cities, but I'm so curious, and I think I have to learn. But yeah, I love this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I'll see you next time. Bye!